We're going to become educated a little bit more about Bethlehem Academy. They have an open house coming up, and their president, Dr. Chuck Briscoe, is with us. He brought with him a lovely graduate from BA, who we're going to be visiting with a little later too. Hanna Thompson joins us this morning. Did I get that right, Chuck?
You got that right. She's a recent grad, 2016, so she's still young. So
yeah.
She's has a lot of good living ahead of her.
Not heading to college just yet, right, Hanna?
Correct. Not just yet, but I'm still working away. I'd like to pursue a future in music, and so I'm taking music theory lessons currently.
Well, that is cool, and we're going to talk with Hanna a little bit more. Only got a few minutes before we go to our market update, Dr. Briscoe, but some heavy hearts over at BA today after, their volleyball team lost last night.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's the first time in 15 years, so the first year I'm there and they don't get to the finals, so I hope that's not a, but they had a great season, great group of girls, and certainly a great coach, and I can guarantee that next year they'll show up ready to play. And
upsets do happen in sports, as everyone knows who ever participated in them.
Well, yeah, if you're on a team, it's a lot like life. I mean, life isn't always, bed of roses, and things happen, and that's why this, certainly is a tough night, but the sun is up, and they'll get past it, but it's, it's a tough one.
Certainly they'll bounce back. And one of my favorite sayings of all time is, all sunshine makes a desert.
That's a good one. I do a quote every week, so I'll have to remember that.
Yeah.
You have to email it to me.
I love
all
that.
sunshine makes a desert.
All sunshine. I don't remember who said it.
Okay.
But all sunshine. I'm going to have to Google that and find out who did say that. All sunshine makes a desert. And it's true.
Well, if I can't find out, I can give you credit for it. So,
oh, gee,
yeah.
Wow. Thanks, I appreciate that. Anyway, we have a couple minutes. When is the open house?
Open house is November 16th. That's a Wednesday night. 6:30 to 7:30 is the program. They can come 5:45 to 6:15. Every club, athletic team, and academics will have a table. It's a big deal for us. I was in public schools a long time, and there's advantages each way, but in a private school, no one has to come. So we have to prove ourselves every day, every year. We have no attendance area, so anybody coming to BA is coming at their own free will. They're turning their back on a free education to pay money to come to BA. So this is a big night for us, and we are really optimistic. We have figured out the transportation thing that they've talked about for 20 years, so we will, if you're listening to this outside of the Faribault Public School attendance area, we can get you to and from BA, and the cost will be nominal. So keep that in your mind as you look at this. But investing in your son or daughter or grandson or daughter, there's nothing better. And as I said last time I was on, you get one chance to do middle school or high school right. If you don't do it right, sometimes it's hard to recover. So if you give us an hour, we'll make it worth your time. If nothing else, you'll get one of our free chocolate chunk cookies that BA is famous for. So Gordy, maybe you want to stop by.
You should have seen Hannah's reaction. She lit up like a Christmas tree over there.
Yeah, we'll get you. Well, I can guarantee you get a good cookie and a glass of milk. Beyond that, but you get a chance to meet our great teachers, and that's really why you want to come there.
So I don't know if it's fair, but can you tell me in a minute or so, Hanna, if you enjoyed going to Bethlehem Academy? Forget that Dr. Briscoe's even sitting next to you there.
I can leave the room if you want me to.
Oh, well, I didn't have the honor of having him as a principal, but I did enjoy my education time at BA. I met so many different people throughout my time there, and when I say so many different people, I mean past alums. I mean when I was in 7th grade, seniors. I oftentimes I was in the honors choir too, so I got to spend a lot of time with those seniors, and I'm still friends with them today, and also younger kids now that I was a senior got to help them learn things and do some tutoring as well in the school. And so it's a really big community that I've gotten to be involved with and opened so many doors and opportunities for me.
Yeah, we're going to visit more with Hanna and with Dr. Briscoe when AM Minnesota continues, get more specifics about the open house, and probably go over some information about Bethlehem Academy when AM Minnesota continues.
Chuck, sing happy birthday before the other show.
Yeah, we could do that. You could sing with me. You got a little better voice.
Oh boy.
Probably both you think. So.
I'm deaf in one ear now, so my singing is, you got to be able to hear yourself sing.
That is true.
Kind of a bummer, really. I used to love singing. I still sing in the car, in the shower and stuff. But no public stuff. It was a church choir too, you know, back in the day.
Another copy.
All right, we're gonna keep it in the Cardinal country, I guess. Now that I think about it, that's what it says in your gym, right, Dr. Briscoe? Cardinal country.
It says it's Cardinal Country, yes.
Van Orson
It's a
Auditorium.
beautiful, beautiful old gym.
So we have Dr. Briscoe with us. He's the president of Faribault Bethlehem Academy. Hanna Thompson graduated last spring. At least I think she graduated. You got your diploma, right?
Well, yeah.
Anyway, Hanna's an alum who is planning a special event coming up a little bit later. We're going to talk to you about that. But first of all, Dr. Briscoe, if you could give us some more details about the open house and maybe some information about Bethlehem Academy.
Sure. I was driving in this morning. I think I've been at BA now a little over 100 days, and I knew coming in that one of the things we had to work on the hardest was our open houses. How do we attract a few more students? Because we can't, if we hover around 270 or 280, that's just not big enough. So how do we get 20, 30, 40 more kids? So I knew the key was to have an open house earlier in the fall, and that's what we're doing. I've been out to, I think, 15 Catholic elementaries or private schools and shared the good word about BA. So that's really, the open house is a chance as a parent or grandparent to get a feel for what we are at BA. I mean, a couple of things. I was listening to some of the other district school goals, and our graduation rate, I checked with the counselor this morning, it's been 100% for her 15 years. There was one student one year that didn't graduate, and he came back and got his diploma. So I can say that if you start with us as a student at BA, we're going to make sure you graduate on time and get you to the next level. So you're not going to have to worry about, is my son or daughter going to graduate? They will graduate. We've got small class size. Every class is less than 20, some less than 15. So we can really know you by name. I greet kids by name. I work hard at that. But you're not going to get lost in the middle. I worked in big public schools, and there were always kids at graduation. I'd shake your hand, and it's like, Gordy, I think I've seen you before, but I don't know it. So that's not a good thing. So you won't get lost there. And we have an average ACT of about 23. We'd like to get that a little higher, but that's still above the state average, and that's not bad. But we think we do a good job of getting a student to the next level of education. They leave BA with a great foundation, and wherever they're going, whether it's college, technical school, they're ready to hit it. And I attribute that to great teachers, and we've got just a long history of families, 2, 3, 4, 5 generation families who see it as Hanna said, it's a true family, and families pull together, they care about each other, and so in our eyes, every student is a part of it, and whoever that student is, we're going to take good care of him. It's also, I can tell this from past experience, it's a very safe environment. Hanna and I could sit down here all day long, and I can promise you that a fight's not going to break out, no one's going to say a bad word, we could go back and it's peaceful. So it's a place where teachers can teach for the joy of teaching, and a student can learn, and it's okay to be smart at BA. Some places you can get picked on because you're too smart. You aren't going to get picked on for any reason at BA, but you're going to be applauded. You know, we had Maddie Drevlo here last time, and we applaud people who are strong academically. We don't pick on those kids. So I think if you've got an hour of your time on November 16th, I'd encourage you to come and take a look at it. It's 1 hour of your time. I know people are busy, but you don't have to register. We'll take care of you, and I can promise you that we'll start on time and we'll end on time. At 7:30, you can go out the door. Our counselors will be there. We'll have people, and we can also make it affordable. We think it's affordable. Many students are on scholarship, and that's thanks to the generous donors, because as a private school, we get very, very little state or federal money. So every cent we have comes from tuition and donors. That's all we have. So that's a whole new, and unless you've worked in that environment, where every day you've got to prove yourself and nothing comes to you, without hard work. It's just a different environment.
So the roughly 7,000, that number sticks in my head, I may be off, $7,000 that goes to each student at the public school
Right.
does not go to
No,
PBA.
we don't get any of that. We get just a tiny trickle down. We get some non-public dollars, a little bit of money for textbooks. We get a very little amount of money for staff development. But I mean, comparatively speaking, at Century High School, we probably had $70,000 for staff development. We have just a fraction of that at BA. So we have to count on tuition and donors. We're kind of in the midst of our annual fund right now, and the message in the fund is there's about a $2,500 gap between what we charge for tuition and what it actually costs us. So we count on people being generous and donating to us to fill that gap. There is a gap, and that's what the only thing the annual fund goes to is to fill the gap, so we can make BA affordable for families.
That's why you have fundraisers, BABS.
That's why we have fundraisers. So you do a lot of things. I mean, I wear a lot of hats. We do a lot of things, but we know that if we can get you in the door, everything looks different, and in some cases your life looks different because you've got a chance now to not only succeed at BA but to succeed long term.
So does that 7,000 that would have gone to that student had they gone to a public school, does that go to the public school, or is it just not sent by the state? Do you know?
That's a great question.
Okay, I'll check into that.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to guess it doesn't, but don't hold me to that.
Right. So the state saves money, basically.
Yeah, if you're living in Faribault and you're paying taxes as a taxpayer, part of your tax base goes to the local school district.
Right.
But I don't know that. That's fine. I'll find an answer out, and I can either get back to you, or you can maybe do some research.
Yeah, I'd be very curious about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I would guess that it doesn't, but I could be. I'm wrong at least once a day, so I could be wrong on that.
Now you've been at Hill Murray, right? You were at Hill Murray.
I was at Hill Murray. I'm the guy that helped put together United South Central, put 4 districts together a long time ago.
I bet that was fun.
Well, it was fun. Well,
Challenging.
Challenging because you were, in some cases, putting districts together that really didn't want to go.
Oh, I can relate to that.
And so there, at the time that the state had put some seed money out, some extra money, and we did it the right way, where we took the students and took the staff. Some of the districts that consolidated, they took the kids, and then the teachers were, in some cases, left out in the cold. So but it was not easy because you had to merge faculties, and some didn't want to merge. I'm sure it's fine now. They have a beautiful new school.
Right,
I worked in a WPA school, and so it wasn't quite that beautiful. But that really kind of grew me as a professional, because I had to do a lot of things that younger principals wouldn't. I mean, I was a principal by day and kind of a salesman by night, and that put a lot of pressure on me.
And then, of course, that was a public school.
Then I went out to Wilmer, and we built a new school out there, and that was a public school. It was much bigger, and the advantage, of course, at Wilmer was I knew every year I could count on 300 freshmen coming in. I could count on state and federal money coming in. I didn't have to do a thing. We wanted a great school, but I didn't have to go out and raise money. I didn't have to go out and attract kids. They for the most part, there is open enrollment, but for the most part, most kids go to their local public school, and so that's just 2 things that as a public school person you don't have to even think about.
So what I'm driving at here, I guess, you've been through both sides. You've been in the public school.
I've been on both sides, and there's certainly advantages to both sides. I think that as a private school, I just feel, I hope this sounds right, but you have to prove yourself every day, every year, because nobody has to come. I mean, they could all, potentially everybody could leave and say we don't want to be here anymore. So that's not the case in a public school. For the most part, kids are going to come back until they graduate. In a private school, you've got to go out and convince somebody to turn their back on a free education. And what are you going to get for that? And I think that strong academics, a safe learning environment, a caring environment, In our case, we've got, a faith-based environment, strong values, family. So there's lots of things that I think would match up to say, I think, and you also have to look at, you're making an investment in your child or your grandchild, and I don't think you could spend money any better than that. And I think there's lots of folks like Hanna that would say, yeah, we had to sacrifice, but it paid off down the road.
The statistic you threw out is really amazing. I mean, for 15 years you've had 100% graduation rate.
Right. So if you start your child with us in 6th grade or 8th or wherever, we're going to get them through and get them to the next level. So, and we also we just started now. We're going to actually track our graduate success. What happens to them once they leave us, and we'll use that for the family's sake, but we'll also use that as a way to market and differentiate ourselves. I'd like to think that our graduates perform better, but I want to get some data in front of me before I go on the radio and say that.
Yeah. So what was your favorite class at school, Hanna?
Oh my. My favorite class was, well, I'm going to split it into two sections. So academically, I really enjoyed science classes in particular. I liked learning about earth science. And then also English. English was one of my favorite classes. And then on the more fun side, I would say choir and Phi Ed were my other two favorite classes. I picked 4 classes. I know you asked for one, but building the relationships with the teachers also makes the classes, and those were 4 classes for me that really hit home.
Were you challenged at school?
Yes, I was. There wasn't a day that I really didn't have homework, but at the same time it wasn't too much where you couldn't handle it. It was where you wanted to do it and you wanted to strive to do better.
She's a better student than I, Chuck. I never wanted to do homework.
Yeah, I'm not sure I ever got out of my older sister's shadow, but I tried. But yeah, I was I worked at it, so I had figured I could outwork you.
Did it come easy to you, Hanna, or did you have to work hard?
It depends on the class. Like I said, I enjoyed English and science. However, math, sometimes it was like pulling teeth for me, but I got through it with, like I said, the help of the teachers. Don't be afraid to ever ask. That is one thing that I definitely learned, because you will not be pushed aside. You will be helped.
But Dr. Briscoe mentioned that the class sizes are small. That's true?
Mm-hmm, that is true. Yep. And so that's helpful if you want to get to know things in class. The teacher has time to walk around to each of you different times and help you. But also, there are multiple times after class, at least for me there was, when you could go and ask the teacher for help and they would sit with you and work through it too. And I think having a smaller class size too, if more kids in the class needed help to come during those times, there is more time available as well, because the teacher isn't swamped with hundreds of kids at one time.
Now you're planning a special event coming up here, right?
Yes, I am. Yep. It's called Christmas in the Village, and it takes place down at the Village Theater in downtown Faribault here. And the event took place last year. It was more of a trial run, but due to our success last year, we decided to bring it back as a fundraiser for the school this year. And what's unique about this show is that it showcases solos, duets, and small ensembles of the talented alumni who are musicians and vocalists of the BA family.
Oh, cool. So when is this again?
This is on December 17th and 18th. We're having 2 shows, and they're a little bit different. Portions of the fund raised is going to be donated to the Performing Arts Department at BA. And like I said, December 17th and 18th. So Saturday, December 17th, will be an evening performance with kind of like a dinner theater flavor. The tickets will be sold for $120 a piece per couple, not per piece, I'm sorry, per couple. And the dinner includes an all-you-can-eat substantial amount of hors d'oeuvres and also unlimited beer, wine, and other non-alcoholic options. And guests will have a chance to win $1,500 worth of prizes that night. And the evening will begin with a social hour around 6 p.m. and the show will commence around 7. And then on Sunday, December 18th, that will be a popcorn matinee with individual tickets that will be sold for $10 each. And that includes a maximum of $50 per family too. So if you have 6 or 7 people that you want to bring, it's not going to cost you any more than $50. Guests there will have unlimited free popcorn, and the pop will be sold $1 per glass and with free unlimited refills. And the show that day will begin around 2 p.m. And you know what? This is a great opportunity for alums to come back and meet with the current students. The idea for this event was really to connect past alums and current students throughout the ages. And you can stay tuned for a list of featured performers on the BA website. We don't have it quite finalized yet, but that will be in the upcoming weeks. And as I said, the event will be taking place at the Village Theater on December 17th and 18th. And if you have any questions or would like to purchase tickets, please contact Bethlehem Academy. Also, if you know of a choir or band student that currently goes to BA, you may certainly ask them about tickets because they will be selling them as well.
Okay. And you'll be performing?
I will be performing also, yep. I'm not sure what song yet.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, but...
Hannah's got a birthday next week, Chuck.
Yeah, she said she's going to be, feel old when I said 19 on November 9th. So we...
Next Wednesday.
Yeah, next Wednesday, November 9th. I think that's the day after the election.
Yes,
yeah.
it is. 19 years young. You remember being 19? I had lots of hair.
I know I was younger. I'm sure I looked hopefully a little better, and yeah. So you got a lot of good living ahead of you.
Wish I could do it over again. How about you?
I wouldn't mind going back to. I mean, I just think at that point, none of the bills are coming in my name, and it's a little easier life. I mean, than it is now.
They're the best years of your life, are they not?
Oh yeah,
If
yeah. It's a good way of life going to college.
If you could hop in a time machine right now, the both of you, and go back to right when you were 19, what's one thing you would do? No questions asked.
What would I do? No
Yes.
questions asked?
What would you just...
I don't know if I can say this on the air.
Well, I didn't know they existed maybe they didn't, but I know they have in graduate school. I took a lot of classes at night. I would have figured that out because I was not. I get up early now, but in college to get to an 8 o'clock class, that was not easy. So I would have thought I would have taken a couple of night classes, and to me that looked a little like an easier role.
Well, there you go. Now, see, I didn't go to college. I went to a trade school, broadcasting school. So if I had to do over again, I would go to college.
For the same thing?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Well, you're never too old to go back.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. We're getting closer to retirement, Chuck.
Yeah.
Don't know that I want to switch careers just yet.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for coming in, though. I do appreciate it. You want to go over, highlight again?
Well, I want to. We're on alumni. Alumni are out there. We're having an event in the cities on November 18th at Our Lady of Grace Catholic Church in Edina. It's inexpensive. It starts at 5:30. But if you like, I'm talking about music. If you like to dance, there's an old band of retired teachers out of Casa Manorville, the Lost Faculties, that are good friends of mine, are going to play. So you can, for $100 a couple, you can eat, play some games, and dance, and they'll be done at 10 o'clock, so you can get home and get to bed early enough. So that's something, we're doing it intentionally in the cities for our BA alumni. That's one thing.
A lot of alum in the
A lot of alumni live in the city, so this is a chance for them to come to Edina. But we'd love to see you at the open house on November 16th. It starts at 6:30. 1 hour of your time will get you out of there, but if you're looking for a great school, we're pretty good, so come and see us.
Will I see, or will you see, or will the people see Father Kevin at this event in Edina? Isn't he in Edina now?
Yeah, they'll see Father Kevin. It's his church. They'll see him. Whether he's going to sing up there, I don't know, but I know he'll be at the event.
Yeah, well, a lot of people, he's a great guy.
Oh, yeah.
Always enjoy visiting with Father Kevin. Hannah, thanks. Happy birthday early to you.
Thank you.
19 next Wednesday. I'm jealous. I really wish I could be 19 again. Do a lot of things differently. But that's how life is.
Yeah, that's how life. You can't,
All sunshine makes a desert.
There you go. All sunshine makes a desert.
That's what I'll leave you with. That concludes today's edition of AM Minnesota on KDHLAM, Faribault, Minnesota.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry.
Well, I can